Ricky, you're from where? Where's your family from?
Michoacán, Naranjo de Chile, Michoacán, Mexico.
So you consider yourself a conservative capitalist?
My dad was an entrepreneur. I've never heard my dad call anybody boss, nor any of his brothers and sisters. My dad's an entrepreneur, and we are conservative we love our country, we love God, we love our families, and we like our rights protected. I mean, I think every Hispanic doesn't realize they're conservative, or every Latino at least, or everybody in general. But I think mostly for us, from where we come from, it's family, God, make your money, take care. I mean, it's the very basics. So as a Hispanic, we're by the way, we're pro life, right? Because as a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know that. Some people might not agree. Some people might agree. I know some parts of the Catholic religion, depending on where you live, do not even allow people to use condoms, which makes sense why our grandparents had so many kids. So we are about life. And I'm looking at a lot of, modern Hispanics or progressive Hispanics that don't want God involved, right, in the system, don't have a big problem whenever you're talking about pro-life or pro-choice. And they're getting away from the values and principles that our grandparents, and our parents taught us. So the ones that want to I'm a Latino, I'm Hispanic, raza. If you're really that way, then you are naturally conservative. That's just the way I look at it.
You remember when George W. ran for his second term as Texas governor?
Yes.
It was a Hispanic landslide here in Texas. Landslide by the Hispanic community.
Right.
So, I mean, you are absolutely correct. I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, but you are absolutely correct that it is all about God and family.
It is.
It's a great 100%. Point.
Why do you think? I mean, you get into it with your community a lot.
All the time.
I mean, you get into it all the time.
All the time.
You've converted a lot of people to get into the way of thinking of who they really are. But why do you think a lot of Hispanics, it's the fastest growing community in America, population-wise, voting-wise? I mean, it's the future the way it's going right now.
Demographics?
Demographics.
Okay,
why do you think they vote? 64% vote Democrat.
So I have to go a little deeper. Okay, so when my dad was 15 years old living in Mexico, the Bible was on Spanish. I mean, we don't speak Spanish, we speak Castellano.
Castellano.
Right? Castellano, we speak Castellano. The Bible in Mexico was Latin. Up until my dad was 15 years old. My dad he was born in 1957. So figure up into the late 60s, early 70s, the Bible was not in Spanish, it was in Latin. Okay. But the Catholic religion, or just religion in general, in Mexico, has been there since after they killed the Aztecs off and the Mayans off. So the reality is this. My dad says, I don't even know why I follow a certain religion. It's just because they told me, hey, this is a Bible, kissed it and said, this is the word of God. So what does it teach us about Hispanics? We're very trusting, right? So we might not even be able to read it, but if you say it enough times, by the way, Hitler said it, say the lie, repeat the lie, they'll believe the lie, right? I'm not talking about the religion. I'm just saying, as a Hispanic community in Mexico, we're very trusting when you say we want to help you. We're very trusting. So whenever you jump on the news, like Telemundo, Univision, and you listen to Jorge Ramos, which is supposed to be for us, and you say, this is Orange Man bad, you're like, yes. You don't do your homework, you don't do your research, you don't dig deeper. Just because another man with your same skin color from your same country that is also an immigrant says so, you believe him. That's the problem with the Hispanic community. Nobody goes deeper. Everybody just says, oh, Mexican must have my interest in my best interest at heart. I'm gonna believe him. So when you start looking at, we're reading through all the laws and everything, for example, I mean, here we have Hispanics voting for the man that was a vice president while 4 million people got deported, the most in history. On top of that, the cages were built when he was a vice president. So you're talking about La Raza, if you're Trump, you're bad, you're a traitor, but you were voting for the man that was vice president for 8 years as our people got deported and built the cages. You're hypocritical, but you don't know any better because Jorge Ramos, Telemundo, and Univision told you not to believe that.
Well, I will speak in defense of many people from Mexico who were not too terribly impressed with the idea of a wall.
100%, 100%.
So I'm just saying.
I said it yesterday. I posted it on Facebook. A lot of people, the wall is racist. Every single president has added to the wall, right? Every president. Barack Obama said that he was going to go against the anchor baby thing. He's the one that brought it up. So, as a wall, I put it on Facebook yesterday. It's okay, if you don't believe in the wall, you don't believe in ICE, which is basically the security, the cops of the border. It's very simple. Put it on social media what your address is, open up your windows, open up your doors, and don't call the cops when strangers come into your house. Because they might be hardworking Americans.
That sounds like New York City these days.
And it makes sense why they've converted so many people. But if you don't like a wall, and look, do the trial at your house first before you want us to open up our country. Why don't you open up your house first? Go open up your doors, your windows, leave them open all day, all night. Let anybody come in. Go to your refrigerator, take your food, do whatever, sleep in whatever room they want, and just not know who they are. Don't ask them for ID. Don't ask them for blood. Don't ask, because who knows? I mean, they might just be good, hardworking Americans.
So, Ricky, do they take the newscaster serious? Ramos still has that much power as an anchor?
100%. A news anchor, to a certain extent, is equivalent to a priest, because you just think they're Hispanic. I watch. You got to think this from the morning to the end. They watch the morning news, telenovelas, which are soap operas. Telenovela. People live for telenovelas in the Hispanic community. I grew up around one of my crushes, her name is Ruby. Some of my Hispanic followers are going to remember. It was a soap opera called Ruby. And so they watch these people from morning to night. So they almost allow them into their home.
That was my dream job, to be on a soap opera.
Oh my God.
You look like a soap opera guy. I mean, if you look at that, he looks like a soap opera guy.
And that's your job, right?
What? I got a question for you. Una pregunta for mi amigo Ricardo.
Yes.
So you said you think the wall is racist.
No. I said Hispanics think the wall is racist. Some Hispanics think the wall is
We're
racist.
trying to divert from Hunter Biden by talking about the wall right now.
Are we talking about Hunter Biden
Wait,
right
we're
now?
talking about the wall.
We're literally talking about Hispanics.
Every sovereign country has a wall, and so they should.
Okay, cool. I'm with you. I've said multiple times that people like you, that look like you, tatted up, gangsters, I might say, need to actually join the Republican Party, which you are, and run for office.
Right.
You could talk about it all you want, unless you run for office and someone sees, damn, that dude Ricky's my guy. It's all just mouth talk right now.
Just
take out
So
Gavin
when someone like you runs for office, that's when people are going to wake up. Okay, that's number one. Number two.
But is this the truth though? Because Major is running for office right now, and you don't see a whole lot in California. He's running against Newsom. He's a black Republican.
That's what I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Latinos. We're talking about
get
Latinos
that,
here.
but the black community is just as tight as our community. So if that was the case, then why isn't Major making any noise in California?
Well, let's talk about numbers now.
Okay.
Pat said 65% of Latinos vote for the Democrats. So that's 35% Republican. 90% of African Americans vote Democrat.
Right.
Okay. What is Trump doing?
I see what you're saying.
What is Trump doing to bring more Latinos into the Republican Party? What is Trump doing to bring more African Americans into the community? Because in my opinion, he's not helping.
No, I agree with you, Adam. Here's the thing. You got to remember, Hispanics are very emotional people.
You know who else is emotional?
Yes.
Everybody.
Everybody. No.
Okay, but Latinos for sure.
They were extra emotional. Like, we cry on the soap operas. Does it make sense? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
to all my Latino friends out there.
We cry during the soap opera. Like, when
it's just a soap opera.
It's a soap opera. No, but we take it so serious.
Yeah.
The problem is in the Hispanic community, we take things that we shouldn't take as serious, very serious, and things that we should take serious, not as serious. So I'm sitting here. I was having a conversation with an individual yesterday on Facebook as well through Messenger. If I can show you all the bills and the laws and everything that Trump has done to help the Hispanic community, would that change your mind? No. Why? Because F Trump.
They're not trying to hear the facts.
No, they don't want to hear the facts.
They're emotional creatures.
It's emotion. No.
Of course.
They're extra emotional creatures.
Extra. You're saying most people are emotional, but your Latinos are extra emotional.
By the way, my wife is right here. That's why I love being married to a Mexican woman, because they're very passionate. Yeah. But that passion comes at a cost.
Yeah, she'll cut you if you mess up.
That passion is going to come at a cost. So, and sometimes Erica just
Erica, put away the knife.
Sometimes she just thinks about.
You're not related to Lorena Bobbitt. No. Just checking.
So
just checking.
Erica just may think of something that I might like. Did you think about? I was guilty. I started, So again. She
woke up in the middle of the night because she had a bad dream and just slapped you.
Just slapped the crap out of me.
You're like, I'm sleeping again, obviously.
I'm like, did you hit me for something I might do? But here's the problem. Let's go back to the point. The point is this, and when you talk about the Hispanic community, and you think about this, like I said, Trump is not appealing to minorities because his language. So what's
the first thing he ever said? The first thing he ever said, Ricky, what was it?
Was build a wall. He wanted to build a wall.
Not to build a wall. That these people are coming across the border. They're rapists. They're drug dealers.
Adam, those are sound bites. Those are sound bites.
That was his first speech. That was his inauguration to campaign speech.
MS-13 gang rape women in, and some of their initiations are to gang rape or to murder. So if I grab a bunch of sound bites and say, oh, you grab, he said that we're racist, murderers, drug dealers, and he says, I'm assuming some people are good. Well, I'll put it to you this way: if I'm at your door with 15 different people, I said, Adam, let me in, but you don't know any of them. Are you going to assume they're all good, or you're going to say, I don't know any of you guys? I can't assume that you're good. I have to assume that you're going to harm my family inside my house.
All right.
I have to
So
assume.
let's step back for a minute. 2 times now in public, Trump has been given the opportunity to denounce white supremacists.
29 times he's done it.